Now that you have some perspective on the industry and what the role entails, we're going to dig into how you actually execute and bring in new clients. I am pumped to dive into this section of the course with you because now we actually get to talk about tactics for building your book of business. So a quick refresher before we dive into the details. Your main responsibility as a rep is to your clients. They are your lifeblood. You can break down your activities into two buckets: finding new clients and managing existing clients. 80% of your time is going to be spent prospecting and finding new business, while the other 20% of the time is going to be on servicing existing clients. It's not that we don't like our existing clients. We love our existing clients. It's just that we need new clients in order to make new sales and earn more money, right? Because this is a commission-based business that requires us to keep growing. Now, in this module, we're going to focus on how to bring in new clients. We'll look at our top 4 steps in the sales funnel, which is going to start with sourcing and end with closing. We'll touch on managing clients in the next module. Let's start with a walkthrough of the sales process and how we bring on new clients. In this module, we're going to break down each of these steps in full detail. But before we dive in, let's start with a high-level overview. Starting at the top, we have sourcing new clients. This is the process of finding new prospects that can potentially work with us. Once we identify potential clients to work with, we'll reach out to them via phone, email, or other methods to see if they're interested in learning more about what we do and how we can help them with their financial plan. Assuming they're interested and they want to learn more about how we can help them, we'll move into the discovery phase. We can divide parts of the discovery phase into 2 parts. We have discovery call and we have a fact-finding call. The discovery call is typically our first call with the prospect. This is normally a quick 15 to 20 minute conversation for the prospect to learn more about what you do and for you to learn more about them. If there's a mutual interest that comes out of this conversation, so for example, you think you can help them and they agree to sit down and have a further discussion with you, then you'll move on to what is fact-finding. Fact-finding is going to be our second conversation with the potential client, and this can go anywhere from an hour or longer. So what I like to do when I sit down with clients for the fact finding, now of course I'm not telling them, hey, I'm here to fact find, right? We already discovered that there's a mutual interest. What I tell them is I'm here to learn about more of your goals and needs, what you're looking for, and develop a plan to hopefully help you reach those goals and needs. Now, before I get started, I just want to be respectful of your time. I know I'm good for the rest of the afternoon, but how much time do you have set aside for us today? And if they say, I only have half an hour, or I have to be someplace in an hour, or whatever the case may be, then you can know to kind of tailor your fact find and your pitch to them to that time frame. So you can cut out some of the fluff questions and really ask them the more detailed questions that you need answered. Now, in this call, you're going to learn a little bit, in this conversation, you're going to learn more in depth on what that prospect is looking for, right? What are their goals and what are they hoping to accomplish? You're gathering information so you can tailor your products and services to their needs. After fact finding, you may have a third conversation with the potential client. At that point, you're going to pitch to them. You are going to present to them your recommendations. And this can also go anywhere from an hour or longer. So remember to ask, how much time do we have? I just want to make sure that I'm respectful of your time. Now, oftentimes when you work with someone, a solution will present itself right away during the fact-finding phase. However, because this phase can take a while, especially if you get into discussing the details of certain plans or products, you might not necessarily have time to have them sign an application or take the next step. That's why you can have the presentation conversation, which follows the fact finder. Now, if everything goes smoothly in the fact finder, maybe you don't even need to have that much of a fact finder. Maybe they come to you and say, hey, Lee, or, hey, I need life insurance. Great. Then you know that in your fact finder, you're most likely going to be taking an application for their life insurance policy because they told you that's what they need. Now, if you're just doing a general fact find because you don't know what they need, oftentimes you're going to have to go back to your office or go back to your team, put together a solution, and then come back for the third conversation, which is the presentation. Finally, if this prospect likes your recommendation and agrees to move forward, you are ready to execute the contract and you have officially gotten a client, which is so exciting. Now, that's the high level of the sales process. Next, we're going to dig into each section and break it down a little further.